Hey you, yeah you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video.
So this is the recap of From Season 2, Episode 7, Belly of the Beast. This recap will contain spoilers, so if you have not seen the episode, leave right now, go watch the episode, and then come back and let's talk about it. So, for those that have seen the episode, let's get into it. So this episode opens with Christy and Fatima discussing her pregnancy. And we see that Fatima doesn't want to tell Ellis, but we still don't know exactly why. Then we get to Boyd and Kenny as they continue to observe Smiley's body along with Mary, and they want a closer look because they're not sure if he's dead or not. Spoilers, he's dead. Kenny wants to burn the body, and Boyd and Chrissy want to examine it so that they can maybe find out a way to continue fighting the monsters now that they've got the momentum of killing one. Boyd sends Ellis back to Colony House because he doesn't want people asking questions or coming up to the clinic and finding Smiley's body by accident. Kenny's reluctant to bring the body inside. He's basically voicing the fear that maybe whatever Boyd gave the monster could still be in it. And, what if he's not actually dead? Blase blase. Basically, Kenny being a grade A certified biatch. Donna and I can't remember his name, but the man that stabbed Ellis, they talk about what his fate's going to be. And basically, this man gives like a really half-hearted ass apology about stabbing Ellis, but still reiterates the fact that he was right in his assertion that the bus passengers are stealing food and that they can't support the current members of Colony House and the bus passengers. So this is really sowing discord and mistrust within everybody at Colony House. The bus driver wants some justice and talks to Donna about it, but no real resolution has come to as far as what's going to happen other than locking this man in a room. So Ellis and Fatima return to Colony House. Everybody welcomes Ellis back, and he struggles to get up the stairs because, he got stabbed in the chest, like literally less than 12 hours ago. So the Matthews family are making breakfast with Tien Chen. Julie and Ethan want to go to Colony House. Jim and Tabitha, however, are arguing about whether or not to allow the kids to have this sort of latitude and freedom. And basically it's a back and forth because, as we remember in the previous episode, Jim allowed Ethan to go and confront Sarah about his feelings, given the fact that she tried to murder him. So she also is very reluctant to believe, Tabitha is anyway, that she's reluctant to believe whether or not Jim is correct in his theory that they are a part of some sort of larger experiment to basically chronicle their human behavior in extreme stressful circumstances. And she asks him to prove his argument, and of course he has no proof. And that's when we find out that Randall, the guy that's living in the bus, he in fact has a drone. And so we see the light bulb go off above Jim's head, basically. So then we get back to Boyd, Christy, Mary, and Kenny as they start the autopsy of Smiley. Mary is obviously not doing well, being that she's now going through withdrawal. Then we have Jim, who talks to Randall about basically helping him with an experiment using his drone. And we get back to Ethan and Victor. Ethan is talking to Victor and asks if the trees have moved again, but Victor is very standoffish with Ethan and asks him to stay away because bad things follow him. And Victor knows that something is coming because of all the changes in a place that never changes. Victor tells the sullen Ethan that he can help measure after Ethan basically questions whether or not they are in fact friends. So then we get to Christy, and Christy's trying to attend to Mary. Boyd is changing his bandages on his hand, and Christy tells him how she and Mary met. and she starts having doubts of her own about the autopsy. Meanwhile, Tabitha goes to see Jade, who's working on making the booze taste better. I guess trying to get himself off of his obsession with the symbol in the diary. She asked him why he wasn't surprised about her seeing things and freaking out in the woods, and he tells her that he has also freaked out and saw visions in the woods when Jim found him. So then we see that Jim and Randall talk about Jim's theory and come across the RV, which they're trying to get an antenna out of so they can basically affix the antenna to the drone and get it high enough so that they can get a better signal. My question about this is, why is Jim so obsessed with getting a signal in or out when he knows that there's somebody monitoring the signal that has already explicitly told him to cut the shit? So it's very interesting. Like, I understand Jim's thought process, but I don't understand why he believes that this will help them get any closer to getting out of the predicament that they are currently in. Meanwhile, we have Julie, who goes to see Ellis and Fatima. Donna brings Ellis some food and apologizes for what happened. I guess because she feels sort of responsible for not being there and not being attentive to Colony House, given that she's dealing with the current food shortage. So then we get Julie and Elgin talking again, and he takes her for a walk. Now, I'm not sure how old Julie is or how old Elgin is, but it seems like there's something there, but I don't know if there should be. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I have no idea how old Elgin is. I think Julie's like 16. So, I mean, hopefully they're around the same age. I don't know. But she basically tells him that, just tells him about what's going on with her, and they have kind of a back and forth. And it's interesting because, they just seem to be real chummy currently. So then we got Christy, and she begins the autopsy. And Kenny continues to bitch about this damn autopsy. So he leaves the room in a huff, and Christy says that she's going to go talk to him. And what we find out is that Kenny is actually more afraid of what Boyd used to kill Smiley than he is of Smiley himself reanimating in some way. And Kenny then finally breaks down and tells Christy how he feels about her. And then Christy storms off, so nothing is really resolved by this talk. Mary, meanwhile, seems to be having a vision in her delirium that Smiley is alive, and then in her vision we realize that it's actually a vision because she sees the music box. I don't know if this is foreshadowing. Why is she seeing the music box? Is it because Boyd told her about it, or is there something else going on in this? You be the judge. I have no earthly idea currently. So then we get Fatima and Donna, and she's telling Donna that she's pregnant and that she hasn't told Ellis. But here's where we get the twist. The reason that she hasn't told Ellis, or at least what she's telling Donna, is that up until this point, she was under the impression that she could not physically become impregnated and carry a child. But that seems to not be the case. So I wonder what this has to do with the town exactly, and what this pregnancy is really going to bring. Is it going to bring calamity, or is it going to be a source of hope? Donna thinks that it's a source of hope and, quite frankly, a miracle, as she busts into laughter at Fatima's trepidation. So then we have Jade and Tabitha talking, or Jade is basically telling Tabitha about Christopher. She tells him about the children that she's seen in her visions, and she tells him that she saw the symbol in the tunnels, to which he asks what tunnels. So they about to get into some trouble because can't neither one of them take care of themselves. So then we have Victor and Ethan, who are measuring the movement of the trees, and Victor talks about the falling of the leaves, to which Ethan obviously says, well, leaves always fall. Now we know that previously Boyd and Kenny talked about the idea that this place had not changed, even though technically autumn had occurred. Leaves had never fallen up until this point. And am I the only one seeing like this huge fog rolling in? Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's a normal thing, but I don't think I've ever seen that in the town. Maybe that's just because of where they're shooting at. I know they're shooting in Canada, or maybe this is something to do with something else. But the way that nobody's reacting to it, I'm guessing that's just the weather of where they're shooting at currently. So Christy and Boyd continue the autopsy. Kenny actually returns. I guess he's found, the cojones to deal with his fear. And as they open up the chest cavity of Smiley, we see that all the organs are shriveled up and desiccated. And this sends Christy into a rage as she starts stabbing what's left of Smiley's organs, only to reveal the gallbladder, or rather the contents of the gallbladder, being a yellowish bile that they are basically going to extract and see if that's somehow, some way, a way to fight the monsters. Meanwhile, Elgin, oh my God, he is like a bowl with a hole in it. Well, he just could not wait to spill these beans. I'm telling you. So he tells Julie about Smiley and then makes her swear not to tell anyone about it. Dude, if you couldn't keep that secret for less than a few hours, what makes you think that she's going to be able to keep the secret? Anyway, he tells her that he needs to remember his dream that he was having as the bus rolled into town, but he can't. And she suggests that he put his head in a bathtub of water just at ear level. She says that it helps her. We'll see what happens with that. Meanwhile, Fatima tells Ellis about the pregnancy, or at least she's in the process of telling Ellis about the pregnancy. Kenny and Boyd talk about if the bile will be effective against the monsters, and more importantly, they still haven't worked out a way to test it without, getting murdered. Boyd offers Kenny his badge back, and Kenny really doesn't answer, so we'll see how that plays out. Christy checks in on Mary, and she tells her about the dream she had. And Elgin tries what Julie told him, only to get dragged, or actually shoved down into the water by whatever this, either it's a vision, because we do see the music box as things are going on, or whether it's an actual creature shoving him down into the tub. Either way it goes, Elgin has more to do with this story than we know, and we only have 2 episodes left in the season, so it'll be very interesting to see what his role is to actually play. But all I know is I do like Elgin. I mean, he did step up in the last episode, especially with the whole Ellis thing. So we'll see where this takes us. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Jim's experiment with Randall's help is going to succeed or fail? Do you think that Boyd, Christy, and Kenny have now discovered a effective way to fight the monsters? And even if they are able to fight the monsters, what real difference will that make if they're all starving from a food shortage? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We'll see you on the next.
If you'd like to get a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.